something's gone terribly wrong behind the scenes. And it centers on one leaked baby drama clip that's torn friendships and marriages apart. Fans are shocked to learn that Karlie Redd was caught celebrating that private moment. But what really set tongues wagging is Kirk Frost's reaction. Instead of defending Rasheeda, insiders say he sided with Karlie. And now Rasheeda is furious. Emotions ran high when Rasheeda stormed into Kirk's study, phone in hand, demanding, "You left me for her." Eyewitnesses claim her voice cracked, with hurt and betrayal as she recounted how Kirk praised Karlie's loyalty moments after she shared that explosive clip. The family was left divided. Some supporters defended Kirk's neutral stance, while others accused him of abandoning his wife when she needed him most. And now whispers are swirling that Rasheeda isn't ready to forgive. Sources say she's questioning everything. Did Kirk truly believe Karlie's side of the story, or was he too quick to take her part? This conflict promises more heartbreak, more tears, and a showdown that could change their lives forever. Stay tuned, because this drama is far from over. The studio lot was buzzing before anyone set foot on set. Twitter feeds aflame with screenshots of a leaked clip that showed Scrappy and Shakira sharing a private joke about baby names. Whispers had quickly shifted to Karlie Redd's reaction video, showed her laughing like it was a punchline. But what nobody expected was Kirk Frost's response. Instead of racing to Rasheeda's defense, insiders say he called Karlie afterward, praising her for keeping it real. Word spread through. The crew and Rasheeda's phone exploded with angry emojis and direct messages. "How could he pick her over you? I'm so sorry, Queen. This is unreal." She read them all, her heart pounding. Earlier that morning, Rasheeda had woken to a text from Kirk. "Just saw you trending. I'll be home soon." She stared at the words, her mind spinning. She loved Kirk, but if he stood with Karlie's someone who'd just weaponized Shakira's private moment, what did that say about him? She pressed reply, fingers trembling. "We need to talk." Then she grabbed her keys and headed to their shared office, where Kirk was wrapping up a business call. He looked up, surprise flickering in his eyes. "Hey, baby, I thought we were on for dinner." His tone was casual, but Rasheeda felt a chill. She held up her phone, displaying Karlie's clip on loop. "Did you call Karlie after this went viral?" Kirk hesitated. "I called to make sure she knew I wouldn't let this drama define Scrappy's reputation." Rasheeda's jaw tightened. "So you sided with her?" Kirk shook his head. "I'm not choosing sides." She laughed a bitter sound. "You are. You defended her actions instead of mine." In that moment, the air between them crackled. Reached for her hand. "Rasheeda, you know I love you. Was just trying to be neutral." She pulled away. "Neutral, when my husband praises my friend for celebrating someone else's pain." Kirk ran a hand over his face. "Look, I get why you're upset. He is my friend too." Rasheeda's eyes burned. "Friend?" She mocked Shakira's tears, made fun of a woman expecting a baby, and you stood by her. Kirk's voice dropped. "I didn't see it that way." Her emotions boiled over. She paced the room, tears threatening. "You left me for her in a split second. What else could I think?" Kirk grabbed her by the shoulders. "Rasheeda, calm down. You're snapping at me." She pushed him away. "I'm not snapping. I'm waking up. I need you to choose me." Kirk's expression hurt. "Rasheeda, I already chose you." She tilted her head. "Oh, really? Then why did you praise her in that voicemail?" Kirk's gaze fell. "I was caught off guard." Rasheeda shook her head. "The real question is, do you trust me enough to defend me?" Kirk closed his eyes, swallowing. He pulled out his phone and played back the very message she'd seen. His voice, gentle, saying to Karlie, "You handled that conversation so well. You're always so honest." Rasheeda swallowed hard. "You praised her honesty, Kirk. Did you ever praise mine?" Kirk's shoulders slumped. "I did, when I talked to you this morning." Rasheeda's tears spilled over. She grabbed her keys. "I need space." Kirk reached out, but she was already at the door, outside the Afternoon sun was merciless. Rasheeda pulled her car door shut, hands shaking on the wheel. Kirk's voice echoed from the doorway. "Please call me when you cool down." She didn't respond. She drove away, mind spinning with doubt and betrayal. The next day, the cameras rolled for the first shoot since the leak. The crew whispered about Rasheeda's absence. Karlie arrived early, makeup flawless, but her eyes betrayed worry. She approached Kirk at craft services. "How's Rasheeda?" she asked softly. Kirk shrugged, stirring his coffee. "She's hurt." Karlie's face fell. "I didn't mean to come between you two." Kirk glanced at her. "I know." Karlie lowered her voice. "I'll reach out to her." Kirk nodded, though uncertainty flickered in his gaze. Later, Rasheeda walked onto set without warning. She wore black leggings and an oversized hoodie, makeup minimal, but her eyes fierce. Kirk spotted her and froze. The cameras rolled, capturing their silent moment. Rasheeda crossed to him, voice low. "We need to do this scene, but not without clearing the air." Kirk nodded, tension etched on his face. The director called to action. They'd film a casual living room talk. Rasheeda took a seat on the couch, Kirk beside her, both stiff. The first lines were simple. "Talk about favorite memories from the last season." Kirk smiled convulsively. "Remember when we went to Paris for our anniversary?" Rasheeda nodded, voice flat. "Yes." The atmosphere felt like coiled springs. The producer signaled for the real talk. Rasheeda turned to Kirk. "You said neutral, but I heard praise." Kirk closed his eyes. Rasheeda's heart twisted. She whispered, "Why? Didn't you fight for me?" The words hung between them as extras watched in silence. Cameras captured Kirk's pained expression as he struggled to reply. Rasheeda watched him, tears glistening. She wasn't acting. She was bleeding. Kirk exhaled, wiping his brow. "I'm sorry," he said, voice raw. "I was wrong. I should have defended you first." Rasheeda's shoulders trembled. "Then prove it." Kirk reached for her hand, fingers brushing hers. She flinched, then let his hand rest there. The director called cut, but neither moved. The crew exchanged glances. They'd captured something, unguarded. Karlie, watching from the monitor tent, felt a pang of guilt. She wiped a tear as Mendices patted her back. "She's hurting," he said quietly. In the afternoon break, Rasheeda retreated to her trailer. She locked the door and sank onto the couch. Kirk knocked and slipped inside. He knelt beside her, voice earnest. "I love you more than any friend I have." Rasheeda looked up. "Look, I need to feel that, Kirk. Every time scandal strikes, I need you to stand by me." Kirk nodded, wiping her cheek. "I will." She let herself believe it, if only for a moment. But as she watched Kirk leave, new text lit up her phone. "I'm so glad he's seeing the truth from Karlie." Rasheeda's chest tightened. She wondered if Karlie was playing a long game. Outside the trailer, footsteps faded. Rasheeda pressed her forehead to the cool wood, heart pounding. She knew this drama wasn't over, and she wasn't sure she could trust Kirk's next move. The next morning dawned gray and restless as the cameras rolled into another day on the Atlanta lot. Rasheeda arrived first in her usual calm, but inside her heart, a storm raged. She'd spent the night wrestling with Kirk's words, replaying every syllable of his apology. Could she ever truly believe him again? As she crossed the stage toward her trailer, she spotted Karlie's assistant hovering near the monitor tent, clipboard in hand and phone pressed to her ear. The assistant ducked away when Rasheeda approached, but Rasheeda's gaze followed her, suspicion flaring anew. Karlie materialized beside her assistant, slipping on headphones as she prepared for a recording. She offered Rasheeda a tentative smile and a gentle wave. Rasheeda returned the gesture but didn't meet Karlie's eyes. Instead, she turned and slipped into makeup where Kirk was waiting. His face was pale, clearly understaffed by guilt. He took her hand as the makeup artist applied a neutral shade of gloss. "You okay?" he whispered. Rasheeda closed her eyes, leaning into his warmth. "We'll see," she replied softly, unsure if she meant the shoot or the fragile peace between them. On set, the mood was heavy. Extras whispered about their private fight, and crew members traded theories on whether Rasheeda would quit. The director attempted to lighten the atmosphere with small talk. "Coffee break soon," he promised, but nobody laughed. Instead, they clustered in corners, scrolling their phones to catch every detail of the leaked clip debate trending online. The digital world was bracing for the next soundbite. Did Kirk choose Karlie over his wife? Fan tweets and screenshots filled monitors in the background, a relentless reminder that this drama refused to stay behind the scenes. The first scene called for a casual garden chat between Rasheeda and Yandi. Yandi arrived with a thermos, her expression concerned. She greeted Rasheeda with a hug, then glanced at Kirk as if searching for signs of alliance. Rasheeda offered a small smile and motioned for Yandi to sit beside her on a wrought iron bench. Kirk lingered at the edge of the frame, ready to join if needed. So Yandi began gently. "How are you holding up?" Rasheeda exhaled, glancing at Kirk before answering. "Honestly, it's been the toughest thing I've faced on this show." She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. "I thought Kirk would have my back first." Yandi's eyes filled with empathy. "You deserve that." Kirk stepped into frame, nodding. Rasheeda's jaw clenched, but she kept her voice steady. "Thank you for saying that." Kirk reached out and lightly touched her shoulder. The gesture was public, deliberate, an attempt to reclaim his loyalty. Rasheeda flinched but didn't pull away. The moment ended and the director called cut. During the break, Rasheeda retreated to the hair trailer. Kirk followed, worry etched on his brow. "You did great," he said softly. She turned away, staring at her reflection. "It's just acting," she replied quietly. His voice cracked. "I wish it were." She didn't respond. Kirk's shoulders slumped as he left, her alone with her thoughts. Meanwhile, Karlie was invited to record a voiceover in a nearby booth. Her lines were to set up an upcoming charity event's standard promotional work designed to shift focus away from scandal. She donned headphones and pressed record. Her voice shook slightly on the first take. After several attempts, she managed a confident delivery. As she stepped out, Mendices met her with a tight hug. "You nailed it," he whispered. "But are you okay?" Karlie squeezed his arm. "I have to be," she replied, masking the tremor in her chest. Later, the cast reconvened for a roundtable and unscripted real talk segment. Producers set chairs in a circle under a canopy of string lights. The lot buzzed as crew adjusted camera angles, hoping to capture every candid confession. Rasheeda hesitated at the edge of the circle, Kirk at her side. Karlie sat across from her, hands clasped in her lap, eyes downcast. Yandi and Erica flanked Rasheeda like sentinels, supportive yet wary. Mendices hovered, silent until invited to speak. The host posed the first question. "How have you processed this leak and the fallout?" Rasheeda's throat tightened. She inhaled and said, "It felt like a direct attack on my privacy and my marriage." To see Kirk reach out to Karlie, first, her voice faltered, tears pricking her eyes. Kirk reached for her hand. She didn't pull away this time, letting his fingers warm hers. Fans watching would see the raw tenderness. Karlie cleared her throat when it was her turn. "When I first saw that clip, I laughed because I thought it was a harmless behind-the-scenes moment leaked by accident. I never wanted to hurt anyone." She looked up, meeting Rasheeda's gaze. Fans listening heard sincerity. Erica leaned forward. "It's easy to joke when you're not the one feeling betrayed," she said pointedly. Karlie nodded. "I get that now," Yandi added. "We all have to consider impact over intent." The room's tension eased slightly, but didn't vanish. Mendices spoke last. "I tried to stay neutral, but neutrality looked like betrayal," he admitted. Kirk's eyes flicked to Rasheeda, who squeezed Mendices' hand in solidarity. The family had fractured, but cracks were beginning to fill with shared vulnerability. After the round table, The group filmed a brief "What's Next" teaser Karlie and Rasheeda walking side by side toward a charity check presentation. They approached the stage set. Rasheeda glanced at Karlie, offering a polite nod. Karlie returned it with a tentative smile. Kirk stepped in behind Rasheeda, protective and proud. Cameras captured the tableau, forgiveness in motion, hope fragile but present. That evening, the lot emptied quickly, leaving only a few crew members to strike the set. Rasheeda and Kirk walked to their trailers together. Kirk broke the silence. "Thank you for sitting with me all day," he said. Rasheeda looked at him. "I needed to see you choose me in front of everyone." Kirk nodded. "I did." She hesitated, then let him kiss her hand. "Let's get through this leak and whatever comes next together." Kirk wrapped his arm around her waist, and she leaned into him, a small sign that trust could be rebuilt one moment at a time. But as Kirk escorted Rasheeda inside, Karlie lingered under the lot lights, watching them disappear. Her phone buzzed, a new headline speculating that 2 other crew members had revived the leaked clip after tweaking audio to make her reactions seem more sinister. Karlie's chest tightened at the thought. She flicked her eyes to the darkened trailers, determined to uncover the truth. Because even as the Frost couple found fragile healing, she knew the next twist lurked in the collective desire for drama. And she didn't want the storm to break them again. Karlie arrived on set with her heart in her throat, the weight of yesterday's drama still heavy on her shoulders. As she walked toward the soundstage, whispers followed extras' paused delivery. Makeup artists exchanged sympathetic glances, and even the grip crew seemed to hold their breath. She spotted Mendices instructing the assistant director on the next shot, his face lined with concern. She caught his eye and offered a small, uncertain smile. He nodded, giving her a quick thumbs up before returning to his duties. The message was clear. She wasn't alone in this. But the path to redemption would be rocky. Rasheeda stepped onto the same stage moments later, effortlessly slipping into character for the next scene of their reality TV spin. Yet beneath the practiced smile lurked raw emotion. Kirk saw her hesitate and reached out, brushing a strand of hair from her face. She leaned into his touch, drawing strength from the gesture. Despite their fragile truce, every small sign of his loyalty still meant everything. The crew arranged the set for a late afternoon shoot, a backlit gazebo draped in string lights, a low wooden table with cushions and lanterns flickering in the coming dusk. The director called action, instructing Rasheeda and Kirk to film a behind-the-scenes moment of playful banter before the charity gala. Yandy and Erica sat nearby, laughing over inside jokes, while Karlie hovered at the edge, holding a clipboard and a tray of drinks. The cameras rolled. Kirk grinned at Rasheeda. "Remember when? I tried to teach you to grill salmon and nearly burned the whole patio down." Rasheeda laughed genuinely, the sound richer for its honesty. "I'll never let you live that down," she teased, nudging him gently. The crew caught the moment, approving murmurs spreading as they watched the couple's chemistry shine. But the mood shifted as Rasheeda's expression softened, the playful mask slipping. She paused, eyes drifting to Kirk's chestnut hair. Erica noticed first, tilting her head. "Everything okay?" she whispered. Rasheeda swallowed and turned back. To Kirk, voice quieter. "There's something I need to ask." Kirk's brow creased with worry. "Anything," he replied. The camera zoomed in, catching the intimacy. Rasheeda inhaled. "Why was Karlie your first call yesterday?" Kirk's posture stiffened, regret flashing across his face. "Panicked," he admitted. "Her number was in my mind first." Rasheeda's heart clenched. "Because you didn't think of me." Kirk's voice cracked. "I thought I was protecting you both." Her eyes filled with hurt. "Protecting me by ignoring me." The director called cut, but the tension held. Kirk reached for Rasheeda's hand. She looked at him, tears welling. "I needed you to pick me," she said softly. Kirk nodded, eyes shiny. "You're my priority. I made a mistake." The crew exhaled, their cameras capturing the real drama unfolding in unscripted vulnerability. Later, during lunch break in the craft tent, Rasheeda retreated to a corner table with Yandy. The fragrant steam of soup bowls steamed in the midday heat. Yandy slid into the seat opposite, concern in her brown eyes. "How are you holding up?" she asked. Rasheeda picked at her salad, voice low. "Every time I think we've moved past it, something reminds me of yesterday." Yandy reached out, resting her hand over Rasheeda's. "You're allowed to feel that?" Rasheeda nodded. "I want to trust Kirk completely, but I'm not there yet." Yandy squeezed her hand. "Heal. Prove it. Remember how he confronted the interns and brought the raw footage?" Rasheeda exhaled. That meant a lot. Across the tent, Karlie watched them from afar, guilt shadowing her face. The afternoon shoot picked up pace for a group challenge. The cast would build a fundraising display under timed conditions. Erica and Yandy teamed up on structural elements. Kirk supervised the design, and DC's organized contributions, and Karlie and Rasheeda were tasked with creating the centerpiece. Cameras followed their every move. Under pressure, tensions simmered. Karlie and Rasheeda stood side by side, sketching ideas on a whiteboard. Karlie offered a suggestion. "What about adding photos of past events?" Rasheeda paused. I like that idea, but we need to keep focus on the cause." Karlie nodded, softening. "You're right." As they collaborated, a spark of their old friendship returned. Staffers behind the scenes noted the shift, a hopeful sign that Karlie's remorse was genuine. Mid-task, a crew member accidentally knocked over a stack of fundraising flyers, sending them fluttering across the lot. Rasheeda bent to gather them, and Kirk rushed over to help. Their hands brushed as they scooped up the papers, and Rasheeda looked up, catching Kirk's worried gaze. She smiled softly. "Thanks for being here," she said. Kirk returned the smile, relief flickered. With the microphone live, she spoke into the camera, voice steady. "I let my sense of humor override common sense. I didn't think about the repercussions of sharing that clip." Seeing Rasheeda hurt me deeply, she paused, swallowing. "I promised to think before I react." Viewers would see her sincerity, and fans online responded with supportive messages praising her accountability. Yandy went next, describing how advocacy can become performative if you're not careful. Erica spoke about the fine line between teasing and cruelty. Mendices admitted his neutrality had been perceived as neglect. When Kirk took his turn, he leaned forward, voice earnest. "I didn't realize how hard it would be to balance loyalties. I reached for the person I thought was in crisis, but I left my wife feeling abandoned. I'm learning that protecting someone means being there for them first." The cameras captured Rasheeda, watching the monitor from beside the booth, tears in her eyes. That moment of shared confession on all sides was raw and unfiltered. As the day wound down, the sun cast golden light across the set. The director called for one final shot. The cast standing together, hands joined in front of the gazebo. As they lined up, Rasheeda squeezed Kirk's hand. He whispered, "We're okay." She nodded, a small smile touching her lips. Karlie stood on the other side of Rasheeda, offering her a thumbs up. Rasheeda looked at Karlie and mouthed, "Thank you." Karlie returned the gesture with a hopeful smile. The crew counted down, 3, 2, 1, cheese. The cameras flashed. For the first time since the leak, the energy felt less fraught with suspicion and more full of cautious optimism. As the cast held the pose, extras behind the scenes cheered quietly, sensing that a real chapter of healing had begun. That evening, as the lot emptied under the indigo sky, Rasheeda and Kirk walked to their trailer together. Kirk slipped an arm around her waist, and Rasheeda rested her head on his shoulder. "Today was better," she said softly. Kirk pressed a kiss to her temple. "Tomorrow will be even better." They stepped inside, closing the door on another day of making peace. Each small moment weaving the threads of trust back together, one heartfelt scene at a time. As dusk settled over the lot, the cast gathered for what was billed as the final. Wrap-up scene, but for Rasheeda and Kirk, it felt like a true test of everything they'd fought to save. String lights were draped overhead, casting a warm glow on the faux garden set. Tables were arranged with mismatched chairs and small bouquets of wildflowers, all to evoke a casual dinner party. The production crew buzzed with a sense of anticipation as footage would close the chapter on leaked clips, fractured trust, and public heartbreak. Rasheeda arrived first, slipping into a simple yet elegant dress in deep emerald green that matched her eyes. Her hair was pulled back in loose waves, and her makeup was natural. She paused at the edge of the set, absorbing the scene, chest tightening with nerves and hope. Kirk followed moments later in a crisp white shirt and dark jeans. He offered her a reassuring smile, which she returned with a nod. Behind them, Yandi and Erica moved quietly, chatting about how they'd handled the tears and arguments. Karlie and Mendices stood off to the side, sharing a quiet moment, determined to show unity. The director called action. Cameras panned. In for a wide shot of the whole group approaching the table. Rasheeda took a deep breath and led Kirk by the hand to their seats at the head of the table. Everyone filled in around them. Karlie seated to Rasheeda's right, Yandi and Erica across. From them, and Mendices beside Kirk. The flicker of candlelight set a soft, intimate mood. Rasheeda rose to speak without a script. Her voice was steady, but vulnerability shimmered in her eyes. "We started this journey with a leak that felt like a betrayal," she said, letting her gaze travel around the table. Private moments turned public. Friendships cracked, marriages trembled. She paused, voice catching. "But tonight isn't about blame. It's about choosing each other again." She sank back onto her seat, and Kirk reached across to squeeze her hand. Karlie stood next. Her fingers curled around a glass of sparkling water. "I shared a clip without thinking of its impact," she admitted. "I laughed at a private moment, and that hurt my friend. I've spent countless hours regretting it." She glanced at Rasheeda. "You showed incredible strength by forgiving me. I vow to honor that forgiveness every day." Rasheeda's eyes softened, and Kirk offered Karlie a respectful nod. Yandi rose with her own glass. "I used my voice to rally support for Shakira," she said, "but I added fuel to a fire when my tone lacked compassion. I apologize to everyone here for taking sides without listening first." She tapped Rasheeda's hand and returned to her seat. Erica stood next, clearing her throat. "I've wielded humor like a weapon," she confessed. "I thought teasing was harmless, but it cut deeper than I realized. Rasheeda, I'm sorry for every joke that stung instead of uplifted." She sent Rasheeda a small smile, and the two women exchanged a nod of solidarity. Mendices was last. He stood, voice low but firm. "I thought staying neutral was safe, but I left my wife feeling alone." He looked at Kirk. "I failed at support. Thank you for stepping up to find the truth." Then he turned to Rasheeda. "And Rasheeda, thank you for showing me the meaning of true partnership." Rasheeda's eyes filled with tears as Mendices returned to his seat. A hush fell as the cast sat in an embrace of unspoken understanding. The cameras hovered, capturing the raw unity in that circle. Then the director called for the embrace. Shot one by one, the cast moved in. Rasheeda and Kirk held each other tight. Rasheeda and Karlie shared a lingering hug. Yandi and Erica wrapped arms around each other. Mendices slipped in to join the circle, pulling everyone close. The camera circled them, catching the genuine smiles and moist eyes. When the embrace ended, Rasheeda took Kirk's hand and led him to a small table at the edge of the set where a single envelope sat waiting. She opened it to reveal printed copies of the raw footage, transcripts, timestamps, and notes proving Kirk's discovery of the intern leak. She held the pages aloft. "This is our proof," she said, voice trembling. "This is how we found truth." Kirk stood beside her, pride and relief shining on his face. Karlie and Mendices approached to see. Erica and Yandi gathered around. Each read a snippet, nodding as the injustice of the manipulated gossip became clear. The cameras captured their expressions: shock, sympathy, vindication. The unfairness was laid bare for all to see. The director called final cut, and a cheer rippled through the crew. Producers clapped, noting they'd captured not only drama, but transformation. Backlights dimmed and the string lights glowed brighter in contrast, the lot electric with emotion. After the camera stopped rolling, the cast remained, sharing quiet conversation. Rasheeda and Kirk slipped away to the gazebo's quiet corner. Kirk wrapped an arm around her shoulder. "Promise me we keep honesty first," he whispered. Rasheeda leaned into him. "Always." Karlie approached, extending both hands. "Thank you for today," she said. "For trusting me again." Rasheeda nodded, clasping Karlie's hands. "We're friends," she said softly. They shared a brief hug. Yandy and Erica joined them. And the four women exchanged ideas for a real charity. The journey from betrayal to rebuilding trust has been nothing short of a roller coaster. You've seen Rasheeda confront Kirk, demand loyalty, and watch him prove his devotion through actions, not just words. You've witnessed Karlie own her, mistake Yandy and Erica, apologize for unintended cruelty, and Mendices learn the cost of neutrality. Fans are shocked by every twist. A private leak sparks public fallout. Raw emotions play out on camera, and the family is left divided only to find a path back to unity. Now, it's your turn. Do you believe Kirk's actions today truly erased yesterday's hurt? Should Rasheeda continue to hold him accountable until she feels completely safe? Was Karlie's apology enough to restore their friendship, or is there more work to be done? Whose side are you on in this battle for loyalty and forgiveness? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. Hit that like button if you've been hooked by every dramatic moment, and share this video with your friends so they can weigh in too. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to make sure you never miss a single twist in this real life drama. Your voice matters. Here, tell us where you stand, what you do in Rasheeda's shoes, and how you think this saga will unfold next.